Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're diving into a huge topic, the future of remote work. I mean, it's been a few years since the big shift, and things are still settling down. So, Alice, Bob, thanks for joining me today to figure all this out.
Hey, Charlie. Thanks for having me. Honestly, I could talk about this all day.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Though, I don't know if I share Alice's enthusiasm, to be honest.
That's exactly why you're both here. We need both sides of the story. Because, some people think remote work is the best thing ever. And others, well, they can't wait to get back to the office. Alice, let's start with you. You've been working fully remote for, 3 years now?
4, actually. And honestly, I am never going back to an office. Like, why would I? I wake up, make my coffee, and I'm at my desk in 5 minutes. It's just so stress-free.
See, that's exactly my problem with it. Your desk is, 5 steps from your bed?
Well, yeah, but
You never actually leave work. The boundaries are totally gone. At least with a commute, you have that time to switch off your brain before you get home. You listen to a podcast, you decompress.
I get what you mean, but it's all about discipline, right? You have to, set your own routine. I clock out at 5 p.m. sharp and close my laptop.
Do you? Do you really?
Okay, maybe 5:30. But my point is, the flexibility is amazing. Think about the time we used to waste. Sitting in traffic for an hour every morning, paying for gas, paying for train tickets. Now I can use that extra time to go to the gym or actually cook a healthy breakfast.
The cost savings are definitely a big deal. I read somewhere that the average person saves a couple of $1,000s a year just by working from home.
Right, you save on gas. But what about your electricity bill? Your heating? You're running your own air conditioning all day. You're paying for faster internet. Companies are basically offloading their office costs onto the employees.
Oh, come on, Bob. It's not that expensive. Plus, my company gives us a stipend, like a monthly allowance for home office stuff. They bought my ergonomic chair.
Well, you're lucky. A lot of people are just sitting on cheap dining chairs, ruining their backs.
Okay, let's talk about the location independence. Alice, you mentioned earlier, before we started recording, that you traveled a lot last year.
Oh, yeah. I spent a month in Mexico last year, just working near the beach. As long as I had a Wi-Fi connection, my boss didn't care where I was. It's the ultimate freedom.
Oh, the whole digital nomad thing. I can't do it. The internet is always patchy, there's noise in the background, and you're working on a tiny laptop screen. I've had meetings with people sitting in cafes, and all I can hear is the espresso machine screaming in the background.
Okay, that happens sometimes. But you just use noise-canceling headphones. And honestly, changing your environment sparks creativity. Sitting in the same gray cubicle every single day, that just kills my motivation.
I think it depends on the job, too. If you're a writer or a programmer, maybe you just need quiet focus time. But Bob, you're in project management. You have to coordinate a lot of people. What made you go back to the hybrid model?
Well, it's the isolation, mainly. You just sit there, staring at a screen all day in your living room. You miss out on all those spontaneous conversations.
But we have Slack and Zoom. I talk to my team all the time. We even send voice notes.
It's not the same, Alice. You can't read body language on a video call. And no one schedules a Zoom meeting just to say, hey, did you watch the match last night? Or even work stuff. Half of the best ideas come from just chatting in the hallway after a meeting.
That's true. The water cooler chat is kind of gone. But companies are trying to fix that, right? With virtual coffee breaks and stuff.
Yes, my company does virtual trivia every Friday. It's so much fun. It really brings us together.
Forced fun. My absolute favorite. Sitting on yet another video call, pretending to care about pop culture trivia when I just want to log off.
You're so cynical, Bob. It's not forced. It's about building company culture.
I'm not trying to be negative, honestly. I just think we're pretending this is a perfect system. When you're remote, everything has to be scheduled. It feels so rigid. If I need a quick answer, I have to type a message and just wait. Sometimes for hours.
But that's a good thing. It's called asynchronous communication. People shouldn't be interrupted every 5 minutes. If I'm in the middle of a deep, complex task, I don't want someone tapping on my shoulder asking a silly question.
So you think the office is actually less productive?
100%. The office is full of distractions, loud talkers, constant meetings, someone bringing in donuts. At home, I control my environment. I get twice as much done.
Maybe you do. But how does management know that? That brings up the whole issue of trust. A lot of managers don't trust their teams to work from home.
Oh yeah, the tracking software. Bossware, they call it.
Exactly. Companies are installing software that takes screenshots of your computer every 10 minutes or tracks your mouse movements. And it's not just office jobs. I was reading the other day about people building AI video surveillance systems to monitor employee activity, like even in physical spaces, like a metal laser cutting workshop. They use cameras to analyze productivity in real time.
What? That is terrifying. That sounds like a dystopian movie. Tracking people in a workshop with AI?
It's happening. And if they're doing it in factories, you bet they want to do it to remote workers through their webcams. It just shows that the traditional management mindset hasn't changed. They want to see you working.
But that's a toxic culture. If you hire adults, you should treat them like adults. Managers need to evaluate us on our output, like the actual work we deliver, not how many times we click the mouse or who sits in a chair the longest.
I agree with Alice on that one. Measuring time instead of results feels very outdated. But Bob, you mentioned career growth earlier. What about promotions?
This is a huge risk for remote workers. It's the out of sight, out of mind problem. Proximity bias is real. If the boss sees me in the office every day, working hard at my desk, and you're just a little square on a screen from Mexico, who gets the promotion?
But again, that's bad management. Companies need to train their managers to evaluate performance fairly. If I hit all my targets and deliver great work, my location shouldn't matter.
Human nature is human nature, Alice. We naturally trust the people we share a physical space with. We build stronger bonds over lunch or grabbing a coffee. You just don't get that over Slack.
Let's talk about the younger generation, the juniors. Because it's one thing if you already have 10 years of experience, like you two, but what if you're 22, fresh out of college, starting your first job remotely?
It's a disaster for them. Truly. How do you learn the ropes? When I started out, I learned so much just by shadowing the senior guys, listening to how they handled difficult phone calls.
Yeah, I'll admit, onboarding remotely is tough. It's awkward for a junior to send a message saying, "Hey, I'm stuck," every 10 minutes. They feel like they're bothering people.
Exactly. In an office, you can just glance over and see if someone is busy. If they're staring blankly at their screen, you can say, "Hey, need a hand?" You can't do that virtually. Junior staff are falling behind because they don't get that organic mentorship.
I think we just need better systems, like remote mentorship programs, or having an open co-working audio channel where you can just hang out and ask questions. We shouldn't force everyone back to the office just because our current remote systems aren't perfect yet.
What about the social aspect for young people? Not everyone has a nice home office.
Right. That's a massive issue. If you're in your 20s, sharing a flat with 3 other people in a big city, working from your bedroom is miserable. You literally eat, sleep, and work in one tiny room. You stare at the same four walls all day.
Yeah, that is really tough. I had to do that during my first year. I remember taking client calls while sitting on my bed because my flatmate was cooking loudly in the kitchen. It wasn't professional, and it was super stressful.
See? Offices provide a level playing field. Everyone gets a proper desk, a good chair, fast internet, and free heating. For a lot of people, the office is an escape from a chaotic home life.
Okay, the free heating is a solid point, especially in winter. So, it sounds like neither extreme is perfect, which brings us to the hybrid model. Is that the silver bullet?
I think so. It's what my company does now. We have anchor days. Everyone comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's when we do our big meetings, brainstorming sessions, one-on-ones.
And what about the other 3 days?
The other days, you work from home. That's your deep focus time. You put your head down and get the actual work done. It's the best of both worlds.
I guess. But hybrid still ties you to a specific city. You still have to pay expensive rent to live close enough to commute twice a week. You can't move to a cheaper state or travel the world. It kills the true benefit of remote work.
That's a good point. It limits the talent pool, too. If a company is fully remote, they can hire the best person for the job no matter where they live in the world.
Exactly. My team has people in Europe, Asia, and South America. We get so many different perspectives. It makes our work so much better. You can't get that diversity if you only hire people who live within 30 miles of a specific building.
Yeah, but the time zones, Alice. The time zones. Trying to schedule a meeting with someone in Tokyo, London, and San Francisco is a nightmare. Someone is always waking up at 5 a.m. or staying up until midnight. It leads to burnout.
Okay, the time zones are tricky. I'll give you that. But that goes back to what I was saying about asynchronous work. We need to stop relying on live meetings for everything. Record a quick video, send a document, let people review it on their own time.
Let's pivot a bit and talk about the technology. What about the future of virtual collaboration, like VR offices in the metaverse? Putting on a headset and sitting in a virtual boardroom with Bob's avatar.
I mean, it sounds kind of wild, but I'd try it. If it helps with the isolation Bob was talking about, why not? It could make it feel like we're really together.
Please, no. Just no. I already get terrible Zoom fatigue from regular video calls. Staring at a screen is exhausting. I don't want to wear a heavy plastic headset for 8 hours a day, looking at a cartoon version of Charlie.
Hey, my cartoon version would look very professional. But seriously, Zoom fatigue is a real psychological thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. When you're on a video call, your brain is working overtime. You're trying to read micro-expressions, but there's a slight audio delay, and you're constantly looking at your own face on the screen. It's unnatural and exhausting.
That is true. I definitely turn my camera off a lot more these days. Phone calls need to make a comeback. Just a regular audio call while you walk around the block.
Walk and talks are great. So, where do you guys think the commercial real estate market is heading? There are so many empty office buildings in downtown areas right now.
I think a lot of businesses will downsize. They won't need a massive headquarters anymore, just a smaller hub for collaboration. But the transition is going to be brutal for the cities. All those cafes and restaurants that rely on office workers, they're struggling.
But maybe it's an opportunity to redesign our cities. We could convert those empty office buildings into affordable housing. Make cities more about living and less about commuting to work.
You're such an idealist, Alice. Converting commercial plumbing and electricity to residential is insanely expensive. It's not that simple.
Well, it's definitely going to take time to figure out. All right, we're coming to the end of our 20 minutes. Let's do some final predictions. Let's look 5 years into the future. What does the average work week look like? Alice, you first.
In 5 years, the 4-day workweek will be standard, and it will be mostly remote. Companies that force people into the office 5 days a week will lose all their best talent. We're going to figure out the tech, we'll set better boundaries. It's going to be awesome.
Love the optimism. And you know, a lot of trials for the 4-day work week are showing amazing results right now. Bob, over to you. Bring us back down to earth.
In 5 years, hybrid will be the absolute standard for most corporate jobs. But I think we'll see stricter rules about it. Core office hours, mandatory in-person days. The fully remote, digital nomad thing will fade out, except for freelancers and highly specialized tech roles. People need human connection, whether they admit it or not.
Interesting. I think I'm somewhere in the middle of you two. I think flexibility is the key word, treating adults like adults. Let them figure out where and how they work best, and judge them on the results, not where they sit.
Exactly. Treat us like adults.
As long as the adults actually do some work while sitting on the beach in Mexico.
On that note, we'll wrap it up. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Bob. This was a fantastic and really deep discussion. And for everyone listening, let us know in the comments. Are you Team Alice, fully remote forever? Or Team Bob, missing the office connection? Practice your English by writing your opinion down below. We'll catch you in the next lesson.